I remastered the most awesome set in WoW.
Over its lifetime, WoW has seen many armor sets, but virtually none of them would ever achieve such a legendary status as Warrior Tier 3, or how it's...
Bro, I feel like even to today, not even just Warrior Tier 3, but these Tier 3 sets are iconic. And I was thinking about this the other day. Are these Tier 3 sets iconic because they actually look cool? Or are they iconic because they were really rare and hard to get and they became this like prestige thing, kind of like a spectral tiger or a rooster, just because they were rare, so they were cool because they were rare? Or is it a bit of both? The reality is it's probably a bit of both, right? They looked really cool and they were rare. It's like, okay, but to this day, man, these sets were made, what, 20 years ago? And they're still some of the coolest item sets in the game, right?
It's better known, Dreadnaught. It first entered the game in June 2006 with the release of the original Xaryu. However, with TBC around the corner, few people would ever actually clear the raid, and even fewer would actually acquire the infamous set before it was made unattainable with the release of Wrath of the Lich King just a few years later. Today, as nearly 20 years have passed, the Dreadnaught Warrior is a near mythical sight. Never since has it been reformed.
Well, you can make Tier 3 now on retail for just like, it's a good amount of gold, right? Someone correct me in the chat. It's like you can make it for like maybe like $1 million gold or something like that. You can actually craft it now. You had to first buy it on the black market auction house because they removed it from the game, so you couldn't get it. So it's only if you had it, which was kind of cool or whatever. And people kept wanting it. So then they put it on the black market auction house eventually, so people could get it that way. And then, but it was still really hard to obtain because you had to transfer servers and this and that. So people can now craft it. And in the chat saying it's about 3 million gold. So it's very expensive, but you can technically craft this set now on retail.
Forced until now. My journey of remaking the legendary Dreadnaught's battle gear started off with a bald man, whom I, for a short while, relieved of his gold cranium by giving him a neat little mohawk. I prepared the base for what would soon be his spiky horns and modded my way down his head to block out the face guard, and indeed, connected it to the back of the mohawk. One of the most standout features of the Dreadnaught set is that the helmet has this monstrous looking mask underneath, with spooky teeth and a big chompy jaw. I modeled it and made the helmet 3-dimensional, because that makes sense. Some of you might recall me talking about the horns not long ago. Well, I modeled them, which is inherently a bit of a fucky process with horns and impossible to edit into smooth footage. So instead, just enjoy me tweaking the shape a bit. His helmet done with, I moved on to model what would be one of indeed many skulls in this armor set, serving as the starting...
Does anyone know what software program he's using? I'm just kind of generally curious. Like what is he actually building this in? This is nuts. Like seeing the back end. This is CAD. Blender? Maya? Okay. Bunch of different answers. It's one of those then. Blender maybe? Okay.
Point for my initial idea for the gloves. I went off the original design a bit for this one and figured I would match them better to the shoulders. After all, they're neighbors, or soon to be. Regardless, I gave it some depth and extruded a long mouth, which would transition into an armor plate that I planned to paint in a way that it matches the jaw of the helmet, trying to integrate it with the rest of the set as much as I could. After all, this is Dreadnaught. And if ever there was a design I would not want to desecrate and face the wrath of the comment section, well, Dreadnaught would come to mind.
True.
The way that armor works
Very
in WoW is that it can either be painted onto the character model or a 3D piece stuck onto it. What Blizzard's pipeline does not allow for is to alter the shape of the character model itself. As always, I aim to make my models so that they could hypothetically go into the actual game. So naturally, I made the leg plates to be particularly tedious to refit for all the different races without clipping issues. Because fuck you, hypothetical intern. Then after that, surprise surprise, another skull. This time, the big one. Yep, Dreadnaught's iconic shoulders. I outlined the eye sockets
It's gonna be hard to outdo.
Nose hole, after which I pulled it all into place from side view. With all these skulls, you would honestly assume that this set was just pulled off the body of a dead Death Knight, but I'm here to tell you that this is not actually the case. Indeed, because there is lore, and it's not that. In classic WoW, Corfax, the Argent Dawn fella, tells us how it is. To quote him, the first suit of Dreadnaught armor was made exclusively for the Scarlet High Lord Mograine. Whilst donning the full suit, the High Lord himself looked to be a demon from the depths of the Nether. Aye, it was quite a sight to behold as Mograine would wade into 100 Scourge, Ashbringer held high, come out the other side in a cloud of dust and flames, enemies left in ashes beneath his feet. It was not until after his controversial death that the Death Knights and Warriors of Lordaeron would wear similarly fashioned suits in honor of the fallen hero. While the death of Mograine was a great victory for Kel'Thuzad, the resulting martyrdom would be felt until the end of the war. Where one did fall, many would rise. Huh. So that's 2 videos in a row where we talk about Alexandros Mograine. Oh, it also says that the armor was forged out of dark iron, which is just a beautiful instance of the never-ending classic WoW continuity, seeing as all that stuff, the dark iron business, was like, what, 5 patches ago at that point? And they still remembered. Anyway, but now I had gotten around to modeling the boots. Similar workflow where I keep in mind the limitations of WoW's character models, leaving the character himself how he is, but simply slapping 3D pieces onto the existing model. If I wanted to, I could have used one of the default boot models that regular gear uses and add my 3D pieces onto that, which some gear in the game does, but I've tried that in the past and I felt like it would just end up being too bulky, so I did it all from scratch, avoiding that bulkiness and giving myself maximum control over the shape.
Sweet.
So finally, I added 3D pieces onto the chest as well. I'm going all out with these 3D attachments because honestly, with this set being called Dreadnaught, it would be a sin not to envision him as an absolute juggernaut of dread. This couldn't be some twink. Nope. On this channel, we respect the sacred. And with many little tweaks that I won't bore you with, the 3D model of my Dreadnaught remake looked something like this.
Oh, yep. He really beefed it up? Okay.
Of course. With my model finished, or at least the mesh itself, there was only one thing left to do. The thing that takes almost all the time. Yep. Time to texture my upgraded bald man. As always, the first stage of the painting process was to find my basic colors, values, and basically sketch my way into the first hint of what this fellow was going to look like. This is not the first armor set I've painted. The first one I did was the High Warlord plate set, for which I painted over the original for a lot of it to speed things up. My second one was the Judgment remake, which was fully done from scratch, but also had a lot fewer little details to it. The third one was my Skyrim Dragonborn transmog, which also was done fully from scratch, but also the man was half naked.
I want to see a mage one too.
This one was a real demon. The amount of little details present in it meant that I expected to probably spend twice as long painting as any of the previous ones I mentioned. Having pushed and pulled my way to some decent distributions of lights, darks, blues, purples, blacks and grays, and make no mistake, a lot of push and pull it was, I was at last ready to begin drawing the placement of the finer details of the set, and painted on another layer to begin bringing them to life. Like I said, the original artist that designed.
I wonder how many hours he puts into making a video like this. Not the editing of the video, I guess just making the armor set itself, not even the video. It's gotta be like how many hours for someone who uses Blender or CAD? It's gotta be like what, 10 plus minimum? Like all the details, maybe 20? Yo, Zolfer, thanks for the Prime sub. It's definitely gotta be pretty time consuming here.
Absolute cultural artifact of a set did not show me much mercy. There is a lot of them. The legs have this raised bit on the plates that stick out a little bit more than the rest of the plates, like a little elevated bit. Initially, I'd modeled this in 3D, but I decided to flatten it and to simply fake that depth in the texture. Like many of the smaller details on this model, it wasn't worth the polygon budget. Regardless if this goes into the game or not, you best believe that I'm gonna commit to the LARP that it is, and still go out of my way to optimize it. We had begun to reach the stage where I could really see this thing come together.
Holy crap,
Faintly,
yeah.
Sure, but surely. An embryo flourishing into a fetus. A way left to go, make no mistake, but clear enough an image of what it is to become in due time. It is a painful reality that so much time goes into that first stage of splatting blobby colors and values around, trying to lay that foundation and find those basic shapes, but at the same time, all that labor sweetens the reward of when it gets there. You shrink down that brush, and begin laying down those highlights, boosting those shadows, breaking up those surfaces,
the edges,
and it all begins to suddenly come together. I mean, it still took a pretty damn long time in real life. You're watching this at 20 times speed or something, but still, you know? Just look at these gloves coming together. Oh, speaking of which, I scrapped the gloves. It was a decent initial idea, I feel like, but just looking at it for all this time failed to sell me on it. Shout out to Flora for giving me his 2 cents as well. I gave them a shot. They were fine, but they were not Dreadnaught. You know what was Dreadnaught? Dreadnaught. I decided to make a version of the original ones. Slight tweaks, sure, but still the same glove. Not only did I revert back to the source material, but I tripled down on the bulk. The previous one had no plate on the inside of the arm, just on the outside, and it just lacked that beefiness that I want my Juggernaut of Dread to embody. Having corrected course, I picked up where I left off, painting in more and more detail. The biggest project I'd done before this was the Undead Horses, where I made like 8 mounts for a single video. But honestly, I think that everything combined, this video might beat it in terms of hours spent. The modeling was an undertaking, but the sheer amount of details that needed painting here really was something else.
Tell us how many hours.
Oh, not a course correction. After painting the breastplate onto the base model, I decided to quadruple down on the bulkiness and model a 3D chest piece for it, as well as some 3D arm plates that I would do later. It looked fine the way it was, but Dreadnaught doesn't look fine. Dreadnaught looks awesome, so it needed to go from fine to awesome. I don't make the rules. Anyway, as I was saying, this was some good practice. I actually did most of this work back in October, but I was in a tricky spot with time, so I put off committing to the video for a while. A number of you actually commented that my painting skills had improved under the videos I did after that, and I like it.
I love these little etches he does. Like this stuff, oh, I just love it, man. Little, like, it's like battle worn, you know? Like sliced a little bit. This stuff just makes it feel so nice. Like right there, right there, right there. Like the cracks on the edges.
The thing that's no coincidence. Oh, and fun fact, this was gonna be Bloodfang initially, but as I was gearing up to begin that project, Blizzard announced their Tier 2 remake, which, thank God that didn't happen a month later. Yeah, that would have been fun. Special thank you to my awesome supporters on Patreon and channel membership Tube. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to put the hours into this channel that I do. Oh, a special shout out as always to the Ultra Mega Chats, Dinkeldork, Flora, and Wallace Vienna. You guys are awesome.
Wait, how many hours? Tell us the hours. I thought the video was ending too. Yeah, I was like, no, we need to see it. Suspense, bro. Come on. Man, you're really good at building that suspense. Holy crap. Okay, I want to turn around, man. I want to see it. Too loud? Okay.
Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. If you want to see more, like and subscribe. And comment. If you want to support me in doing more of this.
Hold on. Let's go back to this.
If you want to see more, like and subscribe. And comment. If you want to
I think he did it justice. I still really like the normal tier 3, I'm gonna be honest, just because it's so iconic, like we talked about at the start. You got to give normal tier 3 the credit for just being awesome. But his goal was to beef it up and remaster it. And he did that. Like, it looks like it honors the original set. it's just beefy and with more details, and I mean, it looks pretty darn great. And the cinematic, it's just holy crap, dude. Wait, does he have one for? Hold on, let me see. So he had some recolors too. So there's the yellow recolor, the green recolor. I like the red recolor on the undead was super cool. Yeah, this. Oh yeah, super rad. And then I want to go back to this one. I like this one a lot. Undead Dreadnaught recolored to red. That looks so cool. This one looks awesome, bro. The red eyes. I think the red on Undead's my favorite.